What's up, everybody? It is a chilly 45-degree March day. Sorry, Colt, you got to stay home this time. He's not going to be happy about it either. Let's see, March 8th. And we are in peak starvation time for these colonies. So March is generally when I would say the vast majority of colonies that are, likely to starve will starve. So what do we need to do today? Well, we need to go check these remaining 13 colonies that I have out here and check their food stores and just see if they need any more fondant, because we're not really warm enough here in Kentucky yet where we can switch over to a liquid feed. So I've still got the Hive Alive patties on those. At least I think I do, unless some of those colonies have burned through it. So I really just need to get out in the yard, pop the tops, look in the Vivaldi boards and see if they have any patty left, and then assess whether I need to put more on there or not. I think we're about 1 to 2 weeks away from being in the clear when these chilly temperatures are going to be gone. I think we'll consistently be getting closer towards the 60-degree weather here. Bees are already foraging. At least some folks around here have said that they've seen bees bringing in maybe maple pollen. I haven't seen it yet, personally. Hang on. Get a pole barn here. But certainly possible. So couple things we're doing. I'm also getting ready to prep some comb honey. And I've been dragging my feet on that one, just trying to get those frames ready. As you can see, maybe I think I still have them here on the floor. Been prepping some frames. Got to get some beeswax ready to be able to put those wax foundation inside the frame so that I can get that ready to hopefully once and for all have some comb honey for my customers, because I have failed miserably up to this point using the hog half comb system, using simple comb. I just haven't had any luck recently. And my buddy Dave Hansberry is very good at making comb honey, so I told him I'm just going to do exactly what you do this year, and fingers crossed I'll actually get some nice comb honey. So you can see here where I got to remelt this. This is my disgusting beeswax. It's got all the junk in it, but I've got some cheesecloth that I use. And so I'll get this turned on, start melting it, strain it through this cheesecloth, and that at least gives me some wax that I can use to seal that wax foundation in these new frames. So that's on the agenda today. But primarily on the agenda today is to get out in these colonies and assess weight and see if they need any more of these. I've still got some of these Hive Alive patties that I pulled off of. Some of them didn't eat hardly any of this stuff. Of course, these were the ones that I pulled off the dead colonies. So I still have plenty of Hive Alive left if colonies need it. So yeah, I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get a jacket on, although I don't think bees are really out flying, but I may just put a veil on or something, but we need to go out there and just see where they're at. So let's get going. All right, let's start with these 4, shall we? There's been some decent activity out here for a 45-degree day. It kind of ebbs and flows. I was out here 20 minutes ago, and there was a ton of activity, a couple colonies over here. But now it's kind of dwindled a little bit. The bees are hitting the pollen substitute. So let's check where we're at in terms of food or Hive Alive patty on these colonies. So if I've got a brick on top, like this one standing up, that tells me this is a strong colony. The 2 that are laying flat tells me that these colonies are decent. I think they're going to make it. A colony without a red brick on top is telling me very weak, may not make it. So this colony could absolutely be another loss. So we're gonna go inside here and see what we're looking at. And if I don't see any bees in the fondant, I'm gonna crack this open and just see if I can see a cluster inside here and see what's going on. Yeah, so this, I can't tell just by looking here, this Hive Alive patty is completely full here. So I'm going to put this back in. And to quote Mr. Hansberry, don't do what I do, because you're liable to take a few to the face here. So let's see if we can hear anything. Nah, I bet this is a dead out. Let's see here. Yeah, we lost another one. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Got to get this pollen patty off, because that'll be a small hive beetle absolute magnet. Yeah, I need to assess this. I'm not going to do it at this time, but I do see some bees with some shorter abdomens here. Let's see if I just pull out. Let's see if I just pull out a frame here, what we're looking at. Closer towards the middle here. Could have been a failing queen. Let's scrape this. You can see where I tried to put some Hive Alive close to the tiny cluster that was remaining, but I think most of the dead bees here probably fell towards the bottom. Yeah, so there's quite a few dead bees on the bottom board there. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take this colony back into the shop, do an assessment, see what caused this dead out. So now we're up to six losses, 6 colonies. Stinks, man. Stinks. Absolutely stinks. I have a feeling a lot of these were failed queens. Could be very, very well could be Varroa. I'd just be surprised with Varroa, because I was pretty strict on my IPM this year, but who knows? That's typically the culprit, is Varroa. So I think these other 3 colonies I think are doing just fine. So let's move on here. Let's set this stuff aside, and let's go ahead and take a look at this one and see if they need more food stores. This colony has probably been getting robbed out, would be my guess, because I did see some activity not too long ago, and that was likely just robbing activity. Okay, yeah, this one's looking pretty good. So let me grab the camera and bring you in closer here. You can see that they're definitely taking the Hive Alive patty. So see, there's just absolutely no bees left in there, but you can see here where they've still got plenty of patty left. So this, I'm not worried about this colony running out of food. This will definitely, there's a good 2 to 3 pounds left in this patty. With who knows what else is actually inside the frames in the deep, but they've got plenty of food to get them through the next 2 weeks before spring really hits here, and there'll be some natural food available for them out there. So this colony's looking good, and I suspected as much because I had them marked as a strong colony. So let's take a look at the next ones. Let's move the camera over here. close this one back up. So, like I said, we're about maybe 2 weeks away. We're supposed to have some 70-degree days 2 or 3 days from now. So it's definitely getting warmer out there. The main thing with these quilt boxes, these Vivaldi boards, or whatever quilt boxes you use, when spring truly gets here and we get those warmer days, you've got to get these things off the colony or they will make a mess out of them. Not this version in particular, which is one of the reasons I like the Vivaldi boards, but you may see beekeepers out there that use shims. So they'll use like a 2-inch shim or a 1.5-inch shim, and they'll put a patty inside there, and there's all this open space inside the top of the frames. If you do not time that right and get that extra bee space off the colony before the flow hits, you will have an unholy mess on your hands, because they will build burr comb all throughout there, and you're just gonna be dealing with a huge mess, is all I gotta say. So yeah, this colony's looking good. So we'll move on to the next one here. These are the ones that are kind of iffy. I'll set this one over here. Okay, yep, they're in there. Not great. There's definitely a cluster still here. Okay, I'm gonna go grab that. Where did that wind gust come from? Oh man. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah, we got quite a few bees in. Oh, I see pollen on this bee right here. Can't grab her. Well, she just went down in there. Hang on. Come on. Come out of there. Oh, she just went all the way down. There she goes. Look at her. She just flew off. So she had little tiny pollen baskets on her. So several of these queens are definitely brooding up. But yeah, I see a small little cluster here with plenty of food left. This colony is in no danger of starving. So they're looking pretty good. Again, I don't know how big the actual cluster is, but it's not great. I can tell you that much. But as long as we got a good laying queen in there, I think this one will pull through. So let's take a look at this one here. Oh yeah, they're plenty of food. And you can just tell, I think, off the entrance activity. I'll go ahead and take a quick peek in here. Oh yeah. We'll see if you guys can see from the front here. So we got a nice cluster in there. We're good. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'm sorry. Probably got a cluster in there about like that. So they're fine. I get nervous this time of year opening colonies, and okay, I thought I was gonna take one right to the ear there, which hurts, by the way. Ask me how I know. Yeah, she's mad. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Good grief. Okay. Yes, we're done. We're done, girls. Sorry. Let's move on to the next ones. All right. I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, these first three are doing very well. That fourth one is questionable. This one right here with the double raised means it's really doing well. So the only thing I'm really checking out here is, are they close to running out of food? I do not need to get into these and see if there's a cluster and if they're doing okay. I know they're doing okay. It's really more of, do they have enough food? So let's take a look at this. Okay. So, yep. Can you guys see on the camera there? I don't know if I'm close enough. Yeah, you can see where it's eating away there. So there's a fair amount of bees inside where they're eating away this Hive Alive patty, and we probably have maybe 2/3 of that patty left. So that's it. It's all you need to check. You don't need to do anything else. I know this colony is doing just fine. So again, a common question I was talking about a little earlier is, when do you pull your quilt boxes? Well, and that's, to me, bees will begin to cluster at, 58 degrees, 57 degrees, somewhere around there. So once temperatures are consistently above that, I don't think you need your quilt boxes anymore. Quite honestly, you could probably pull them right now, but just out of an abundance of caution, in case we get another cold snap, there's really no reason to. It's not hurting anything. Oh, yeah. So this colony has, I like these frugal colonies. This colony's doing just fine. They've got an entire patty. Who knows if they've even touched it. I'm going to do a little bit of a heft test here. Oh, yeah, there's still some weight there. This colony's fine. Against my better judgment, I'm going to go ahead and crack them here and take a peek. Yep, nice little cluster in there. Not huge, but doing just fine. I was a little worried about these. This one and this one were kind of my iffy ones about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I think they're going to be just fine. It was close, though, man. Some of these were like, whoo, hanging on by a thread, you know? So I'm glad to see that they're getting strong. They're building up. I've got pollen patties in there on this one. This is, if I got 2 bricks here, this is one of my extra strong ones, so I'm not worried about this one, but I need to see if they have enough food. Because that's what happens. So the reason why I was saying earlier in the video that this is peak starvation time in March is because you've got a couple things going on here simultaneously. So what's happening is, number one, it's late in the winter, right? Very late in the winter, early spring. So their food reserves that they've been relying on all winter long has been depleted, right? Now, hopefully you got your colonies up to the correct weight going into the winter, 70 pounds for a single, 100 and, what do you want, like 130? Is that right for doubles? I don't know about doubles because I don't run doubles, but 70 pounds for a single. As long as your colonies weigh a total of 70 pounds going into the winter, you've solved at least one issue, making sure that they're going to have enough food to survive throughout the wintertime in my area. Always remember, all the advice that I'm giving in terms of overwintering and stuff, it's specific to region. So you need to reach out to beekeepers in your area. If you're not in the Midwest of the United States and Kentucky where I'm at, you know, let's say you're up in Canada or something, it could be very different, okay? So you need to understand that, especially the newer beekeepers. It depends on where you are. So there's a lot of advice that you can still learn off YouTube and stuff, but when it comes to regional specific advice, like making sure this colony has this much weight going into this winter, well, winters are very different depending on where you are, right? So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. What was I talking about? But okay, but anyway, you know, making sure that the colonies have enough weight, that's one thing that you need to be checking going into the wintertime. So, and then of course, making sure that you try to kill as many mites as you possibly can, starting in August when the bee calendar starts, because that's when the queen is raising those winter bees. So here I just need to see if they have, okay, so yeah, plenty of bees inside here. I'd say another 2/3 Hive Alive patty still going on. So lots of food left in this colony. Oh, I remember now. We were talking about why is March peak starvation time period. So the things that are happening is you've got The colonies that have depleted through a lot of their stores, possibly, so they're on, you know, maybe they're running low. At the same time, that queen is in there. You know, we're past the winter solstice where the days are getting longer, and the bees know that. They 100% know that. And so that queen is laying, and they are brooding up. And that's why you see the bees and the pollen substitute over there. You see pollen baskets on bees coming in. They're bringing in pollen, which means that queen and the queen is laying, and the bees are rearing brood. So population going up at the same time, food reserves going down equals starvation risk, right? So that's why. That is why in my area, March, early April, depending on the weather patterns, is peak starvation timeframes for colonies. So there's not a lot that we're doing with bees right now. I'm not doing inspections. I'm not pulling frames. I'm not looking at them because 45-degree weather, I'm worried about chilling brood, right? And then you could end up drastically setting your bees backwards. And then you don't get a honey crop, and there's all sorts of problems with that, obviously. You may not kill the colony, but you're going to set them backwards. You don't want to chill brood. I was watching Bob Binney's latest video, and they're doing equalizations, which I will be doing soon because I bet this colony is doing extremely well. And another colony over there that's like, oof, you know, not so great. I'll pull brood frames from here and put them in there, and that will help equalize the colonies so that all of them are doing well coming into the spring. Well, is he in southern Georgia, middle Georgia, whatever? It's a lot warmer in Georgia right now than it is Kentucky. He was talking about 60 plus degree temperatures on his latest video. Well, it's 45 here. It's not 60 plus, right? So that's different. Meaning you don't want to watch Bob Binney's video and you live in Nebraska or Minnesota or Wisconsin and you say, oh, well, Bob Binney's doing equalizations. That's what I need to be doing. No, not necessarily. What are the temperatures in your region and what are the weather patterns going on in your region? That's what's going to determine whether it's appropriate for you to start digging into frames, pulling out, doing assessment, seeing how that colony's doing, and doing I don't even know if this is a word, equalizations. Is that a word? I don't know. But equalizing colonies. So, okay, 3 colonies that appear to be doing decent. This is the one that's a question mark. We're going to see. This may be another casualty. Let's see here. Let's take a look and see if there's any bees in the... Nope. Full patty in there. I hear a few bees. Oh. Ooh, tiny little cluster. Okay, let me bring you in here. We're nursing this one, guys. We are absolutely nursing this one. I don't know if they're going to make it or not. We're nursing this one. Let's take a look here. We are nursing this one, folks. Yep. See? That is a tiny cluster. And that's a lot of pollen substitute. That's asking for small hive beetle issues, but I don't care right now. I'm desperately trying to get this colony out of the winter. I think there's a queen in there. I have no clue. I'm not going to pull frames and look. Could be a failing queen. Could be why that cluster is as small as it is, trying to come out of the winter. It's very possible, but you see there's absolutely no entrance activity on this colony. This one's probably going to be another loss, would be my guess. But we're trying. We're giving them every bit of resources that they need, and they're in God's hands at this point. So 3 of the 4 there are going to make it. So let's move on to the next few that we have over here and see how they look. Now, this colony was not in great shape, but I think they've really pulled out of it. So let's see what they're looking like in here. I saw some good activity on this one the other day. It didn't look like robbing activity. It looked like orientation flights, etc. Pretty sure I saw them bringing in some pollen, so I think this colony is gonna be okay. But let's check here real quick. Let's see if we see any. Oh yeah. We got a nice cluster right there. Let me see. It was a smaller cluster. It still is a small cluster, but here, I'll show you. I think they're going to be okay. It's the same thing where I identified them as in danger, like not in good shape. And I put some Hive Alive right next to the cluster, as well as some pollen substitute. And you can see there where they're clustered all around it. They're taking it in. I think they're going to make it. Fingers crossed, man. Oh, this is just, it's been a brutal winter here, guys, at least for me. Can't speak to everyone, but geez. As I said in my previous video, it's really got me second guessing that whole insulation thing. Maybe I need to start wrapping these colonies, because you get those occasional really bad winters here. I mean, I just don't. I think that dead out. I'm gonna wash those bees, if there's even enough bees to wash. On the bottom board, it looks like there is. So I'm going to go ahead and wash those bees, and I'm going to see what kind of a mite load is on them. I'll go ahead and record that so everybody can see. Not in this video, but probably in a future one. And we'll see if they die due to mites, and or if there's drones on that bottom board, that's indicative of queen failure, because you don't see mites in a colony over winter unless there's an issue. Did I say mites? You don't see drones in a colony over winter unless there's an issue. And so it could even be, it could be a failing queen, or it could be laying workers. And of course, if you've got a failing queen or you got laying workers, it's only a matter of time that cluster keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and then they're just going to fail. They're going to die. So 4 more colonies to go through. Let's check those out. Now, these 4 looking pretty solid. As you can see, I had the yellow one with the double brick. That one's supposed to be the strongest one. The one on the right is questionable, but I'm seeing some really good activity right now. So I think these are all going to be just fine. So let's take a look here. I'm trying to stay out of the mud behind these colonies. Really need to, I don't know, get some white clover sown back here or something. It's just, let's see how their food stores are looking like. Oh yeah, good looking cluster right here. 2/3 of the patty left. Perfectly fine. That's all I need to see. See how quick some of these can take, guys? It takes like literally 30 seconds to confirm. All right. Again, the only thing I'm worried about on this one is not whether they're strong or not. I know they're strong. Do they have enough food for the next 2 weeks? Oh yeah, lots of bees here. Again, 2/3 of the patty left. This colony's good. We'll be doing splits off these colonies, that's for sure. Try to help replenish my numbers. I can't remember if I mentioned in a previous video, but I joined the Kentucky Queen Bee Breeders Association this year, and I'm hoping to get some queens from our capital, Frankfurt, that exhibit mite biting traits, and I'll be introducing those queens into splits this year that I make. And I think that'll really help in terms of Varroa management, right? If you can get queens that exhibit those traits. Let's take a look at this one. Didn't think there'd be this many bees flying at 45 degrees, but evidently. Oh yeah, nice cluster here. This even has like, what, 80, 90% of the hive alive fondant left. So this colony's another good colony here. It's this one on the far right here I had marked as questionable. But looking at the entrance activity, it's looking pretty decent. Unless they're getting robbed out. I don't suspect they are, but you never know. Now, this patty's untouched, so I'm going to take a peek inside, see if I see a cluster or what's going on here. Nope. I think this colony's getting robbed out. Ugh. So I was worried about it. Let me see if I can bring you in a little closer here. I think they're done. So that would be 7 losses. Ugh. All right. Bear with me here, guys. Yeah, I think they're getting robbed out. And there's a way to tell. I mean, see? There's no cluster here. They're just robbing it out. These are bees from somewhere else. Wah, wah, wah. Here's another. Watch me say this and then get tagged. There's no defensive activity. You notice that? They're not being defensive. That's another telltale sign. Okay, so I've got 2 deadouts here that I need to assess what happened. But yeah, this is just getting robbed out is all it is. Yeah, it's a shame. So 18 going into the winter, 11 coming out, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. Jeez. Ugh. Bad winter for me. But it happens. It's okay. We'll build back up. Minor setback. I'm a half glass full kind of guy. So we'll get this figured out. This may just, personally, I don't think this is related to all the colony collapse issues that you guys have probably seen or read about online, especially out in California and elsewhere. Do I know that for a fact? Heck no, I don't know that for a fact. Absolutely not. I think this is more either queen failure or Varroa issues. So even though I think I did a good job treating for Varroa, it's very possible I did not. So this is likely beekeeper error or beekeeper issue and not necessarily related to whatever is plaguing folks, these commercial beekeepers that have lost, my God, 80 or 90 or 100% of their colonies, thousands of colonies. I feel so terrible for those people. It's devastating. I don't think that's what's going on here, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. I have no idea. I've even talked to other, I don't consider myself a sideliner. I consider myself a hobbyist, but I've talked to other hobbyists and sideliners, and they've experienced over 50, 60, 80% losses as well. Some greasy looking bees right here. I mean, it could be Varroa, guys. I mean, I see some, like I said, greasy looking bees. So I'm going to wash the dead bees. I think there's dead. Let's see if there's dead bees in the bottom of this one. Might as well. We're in here, right? Let's take a look. See if there's dead bees. On the bottom board. If there's a decent amount of dead bees in this colony, then holy moly. Talk about propolis. Oh, yeah. We got enough dead bees in the bottom there. We'll do a mite wash. And, maybe mites killed these colonies. Maybe my, what'd I say, 7? Yeah. Maybe the 7 that I lost is due to mites. So we'll find out, though, because if they're washing low, then that's going to be queen failure. So for whatever reason. But these ones that made it through, those are the ones that I'll split from. And some of them I'll have swarm cells, right, inevitably, and I'll use those for splits. And others, I'm gonna try those queens that show chewing characteristics, especially if my deadouts. Unfortunately, the 5 that I already lost, I can't tell you why I lost those because I already discarded them, whatnot. They're done, so I can't tell you the reason why they died. I didn't do any bee autopsies, but I'll do an autopsy on this colony and that other one, and we'll hopefully figure out if they died due to mites or queen failure. So, all right, I don't know. I'm not feeling too terrible. I'm trying to keep my head up here. It's been a frustrating winter for me, but it happens to the best of us. So it is what it is. But yeah, we live and we learn, and we constantly try to improve and get better, right? Beekeeping is too important. There's not enough of us out there. We can't never give up, especially for you newer beaks out there. Don't get discouraged. Learn and just try to do your best. That's all we can really ask for. So, okay. Stay tuned for the future video where I wash these 2 deadouts, and we'll see if we can assess exactly what went wrong. So hope you guys liked this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Happy Saturday to everyone. Spring is right around the corner, and I'll see you on the next video.